What's up, Hope Shot family? Man, happy new year. It is day one of 365. So make it count, right? Uh man, I really feel like I need to redo the intro, and I think that's my project for 2023. We got to bring that thing up a couple bars, And so I'm gonna work on a new intro. But I hope you're all doing well. If you're in the comments, let us know you're here. Say what's up. Also, share this live feed. Melissa disappeared, so share it and she'll come back. We got Ito tonight. We got Melissa. We got
What's
Tiffany.
up?
Man, it's a good night.
Turn this thing off.
Let's see. I'm going to read the Hope Shot clarity statement. So we here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common: recovery as a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. Thank you for being a part of our family. Let's see who we got in here. We got Justin McFadden. What's up, my friend? We got Brittany. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you as well. You better have hit the gym this morning. Not this morning, bro. Listen, I don't. It's not a New Year's resolution for me. I started it last year, so there you go. We got Jamie. Hey, good to see you. We got Michael Davison. Yo, happy New Year to you too. Brittany, can't wait to get my book from Melissa. Thank you so much, beautiful lady. That's awesome. Yeah, Melissa, her book, yo. We're gonna be talking about a little bit about that too, right, Melissa? A little bit.
That's right. And Brittany, I sent it last week. You'll be getting it any minute. Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit if you want, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, you said you didn't want to go first, so I don't know. What do you want to do? You want to talk about it? Let's give him a little teaser, and then we can talk about it when you talk.
Give him a little teaser. I'm not ready. We're not going. So I think I talked about it a couple of weeks ago here on the Hope Shot, that I was going through a challenge with my publisher. So I pulled the book from my publisher. We're not going to talk about that, right? We've moved on. We're not going to talk about him and that situation because we've worked through it. What we found is a self-published model that once it's launched is going to allow more financial gain to contribute to the sober community. And, I want to give back. That's the purpose of the book, is to bring hope. I don't want to do all this work and then have everything go into a publishing house somewhere and that's all we have to show for it. I want that, it was written to bring hope through the message, but it was also written for to help people out financially. There's a lot of nonprofits that need support. And so we found a way to do it. Right now we're working on it. And when it launches, I think we're going to do it on Hope Shot, right?
Yep.
And then I'll talk more about some of the giveaways and some of the things that we're doing to get it back out there. But I mean, there's still clearly a want for it. So it hasn't been pulled long enough that people have forgotten about it. Thank God. So I'm Sober, So Now What? A Journey of Hope and Healing. It is an easy, short read. It's got a powerful message. And it is my testimony, my story about my recovery. And it has important information about relapse prevention, breaking the stigma of addiction. And I cannot wait to add some things to it that I wasn't allowed to put in initially. And, revamp it and get it out there to the world and let it serve its purpose. That's it.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you. It's going to be amazing. This gets to go around, as you said, you closed the door on that. Was so 2022. You know what I mean?
So 2022.
So tonight, man, we're going to be talking individually, like it's day one of 365, right? What does your 2023 look like? What does 2022 look like for you? What did you do? Did you prosper? Did you not? Did you fumble a little bit? Because it's never a fail. It's always a fumble, right? And we won't talk about fumbles because people in here get a little sensitive about football, but but it's never a failure. We learn as we grow, right? And we always are learning and always are growing. And no matter what, this year I might learn something I didn't know last year about myself, and that's what it's about. It's about always self-discovery. Self-discovering yourself, because I had no clue to who the fuck I was for 23 years of my addiction. And I'm just finding out who the hell I am. and what I like, what do I don't like, what makes me tick, why do I keep yelling at people? You know what I mean? Like I have anger issues, and like I try to work on that, and like I have control issues, and I have all these things that I really want to work on. But if I'm not working on it, what the hell how is that ever going to change? It's never going to. So, this year, man, I had a really successful last year. I felt there was times where I felt like a failure. I felt like a failure. I tried new things, it didn't work out, and I felt like a phony, or I felt like an imposter almost, I guess you could say, because I was trying new things, and I just I wasn't comfortable, and it wasn't for me, right? And but this year, man, I got my GED. I stopped smoking. It's been 1 year since I quit smoking cigarettes, which I'm very, very proud of. I'm very, very, very proud of, because I never thought in my wildest days I'd ever say that I quit smoking cigarettes, because that was like the one thing that I held on to. Because I've, this coming year, this in March, I'll have 5 years in recovery, and man, it's like I never thought in my wildest days that's something I'd give up, because like that was the last thing I had to hold on to. I was like, oh my God, no, we're not letting this one go, you know. Because it's like, man, I let everything, I quit everything else. And it's like, I don't know why I wanted to hold on to that bad thing so much, but it's like, it's like my vice, it's the thing that, like, when I'm stressed out, smoking a cigarette is just like, but now I'm finding healthier ways in order to de-stress myself through this process. And I'm telling you, it's trial and error. I'll tell you right now. Some days, man, I'll be like, oh, I want a cigarette, out of nowhere. I don't even know where it comes from, right? It just comes out of nowhere. I want a cigarette. Like today, I felt like it. I don't know why. I'm just sitting here, just like, And it's not what I want, but my brain will, like, from past experiences, is out of nowhere. And that's the same way with using, same exact way. It comes out of nowhere. And it seems like, that's what I want at the time, but it's just an impulse. And it's just like something that comes out of left field. And it's like, where'd it come from? And as Ito says, download new information. We have to download new information, because those are all the past experiences. It could have been like watching something that came up, it could be a smell in the air. It could have been I don't know, anything, to be honest with you, a sense, a feeling, whatever it looks like. That's where it comes from. And that's what triggers those things, And so learning to navigate those feelings and those emotions and those things has really, navigating them is the trick, and understanding them as well. So that's one thing, is I had a really good year last year. This year I have a lot of things going on, personally, with my business, with my personal life, I'm focusing now on mind, body, and spirit. I want all three to be balanced. And I know it's like that weird thing that nobody can find, is that balance thing. And once you get it, it goes off so fast, and you're like, where did it go? All right. And I just want to find balance just a little bit better. You know what I mean? It's always going to get away from me, but I want to be able to balance every little detail, because I am super obsessive in my life. I obsess about things a lot, like a lot. Like even the Hope Shot, man, I get obsessive. Like social media obsession. Like I have to do better. I want more. I want this. And that's exactly like the freaking drugs, I want more. I need to be the best. I need to be perfect. I need. Well, I want to figure out how to be like, okay, I could give some attention to this. I could give a little bit over here, and I need to give a little bit here, and I need to balance all those things out, and not putting so much on my plate at one time to where it's like a buffet and I don't even know what to do, you're getting all crazy, and then you get so full and you're like, oh my God, why did I do this to myself? And that's my goal for this year, is to actually just get better at it. That's it. Just get better at the balancing act, because that's what life is about, is balance act, right? So, that's my 2 cents for now. I'm going to not ramble forever. But I wanted to read some comments real quick. Let's see. We got Brittany says, thank you so much to you, Melissa, for the book. We got Christina says, hey, fam, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. And if you guys haven't shared this live feed, please share this live feed. You never know who it might help or who might needs to hear it tonight. We got Sandra over on YouTube. Blessings to everyone in this new year. Looking forward to great things for the Hope Shot. Yes, ma'am. We do have a lot of great things happening this year, man. So stay tuned to our journey this year. We have, I mean, just amazing, amazing things. Same with Ito, man. He's going to have an amazing year too around here where we're from. And so is Melissa. I already see her year being amazing. Tiffany, you know, she's going to have an amazing year because, you know, she's amazing. Let's see. We got Jamie. Happy New Year to you too. We got Brittany says, I just told my girlfriend Kayla Jones to check out your Sober Now page and these lives y'all do. She was asking about books on recovery. I'm sure you and the Hope Shot will see the mentions. Let's see. We got Helen says you should be proud. The huge accomplishments. Thank you, Helen. Brittany says August 20th of this year, I will be 2 years since I put the cigarettes down. This New Year's resolution is to put the vape down. Fingers crossed. Now, I put cigarettes down a year ago. Doesn't mean I quit nicotine a year ago. That's one thing. I wasn't a cold turkey person. I need the Suboxone, right? The vape was my Suboxone. On my birthday, right the night before my birthday, on May 18th, that's when I put the vape down. So it's been a little over 6 months, but 1 year since I put down cigarettes, and then 6 months and change to put down the vape. I had to dose myself down on nicotine, and then I quit. So hopefully that helps with you. We got Alfred says, just hit 9 months of my birthday. Congratulations, man. 9 months. So blessed to have people in my life today that help guide me and give me advice. Huge shout out to the Hope Shot. Love you guys. Love you too, my friend. Let's see. We got Julie says she's 19 months clean and sober on January 3rd. Hell yeah. Congratulations to you. So I will turn it over to Ito.
What's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
You can hear me? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, so man, going along, I just want to continue on with what you were talking about on how the year has been, but I want to get off of that real quick, and I want to talk about the area where you were talking about, like, man, all of nowhere, man, I just had this thought to just smoke a cigarette. You know, it just popped up out of nowhere. I don't know what it was. I don't know where it came from and what happened. And so, like, me and my wife, we were laying in the bed and watching TV, and all of a sudden, I'm scrolling through my Facebook, and a song popped up. On social media. And so, like, I got out of social media and I wanted to go find a song because it was a song from when I was in prison. And actually, it was pretty cool because the dude, Jelly Roll or whatever his name is, Jelly Roll, I think his name is, him and Craig Morgan were doing the song. And so the song was Almost Home by Craig Morgan. And that was one of my favorite songs because it was one of those songs that I used to listen to when I was in prison up in Sumter, CI. And I used to hate when the CO came and woke me up for work call. And it was almost like that song right there. Like, you know, the man ends up getting woken up and he's like, bro, I was almost home, bro. Like, you could have just let me sleep and I was almost home. But what began to happen at that moment was all these crazy thoughts started to pop up. I'm telling you, I had thoughts of just going to go get me one. I just need one Bud Light. I'm good. I'm going to be okay. You know, that's all I need. And these thoughts were coming up, and it all came back to the music that I was listening to. And this is why it is very important to be careful with what we listen to. You know, change your music, change your lifestyle. Change your music, change your lifestyle. There is certain type of music that's out there that even though, I mean, you're walking sober, you're doing good, you got 4 or 5, I'm going on 6 years clean this year. And it's like all this stuff is going on, and just one song can trigger that thought. Now, look, if you're not equipped with the information. If you're not doing step work, if you're not connected to a network, if you're not in, part of a program, if you don't have people that you can call or anything like that, that can be a very dangerous place to be in. And it all came from listening to one song. Anyways, I just wanted to share that. It was so cool that you were having those weird thoughts about smoking a cigarette and all this stuff. I can only imagine like where it popped out from, where it came from. And we just shared a very similar experience. And it all started with a song, dog. It was a country song. One country song led to another country song. Now I'm sitting here listening to some Brad Paisley. And yeah, what you know about me, I listened to a lot of country music back in the day, and all these thoughts were coming up, man. And man, I'm just so grateful for recovery today. I'm grateful for the walk that I've been on, and that even though those thoughts do come up, they don't have control over me no more like back in the day. And today I have a power source, and my power source by the name of Jesus, that I can cling on to. I can stick to him. And he is closer than a brother, than a friend. And I am extremely happy that I can tap into that all day, every day, and continue to walk straight. To go with what you were saying in the topic, or whatever it is, the topic for tonight, I think we're just talking about last year and going into this year, correct?
Yeah, it's personal goals. What your word for the year? Whatever you want, man. It's freestyle.
Okay. Okay, freestyling. I like it. I like it. All right. So like last year, my word for last year was to gravitate. And so like I knew, so every year going towards the end of the year, I want to say October, November, December, around there, I start praying for God to release a word for me to stick to for the year. And every year I do it. And my word was gravitate last year, and I knew it was from the Lord, because I'm saying here like I would not think of that word. Like, why would I pop up gravitate? And so I start like, okay, that sounds like a cool word. And I'm like, what am I supposed to like fly in the ear or something like that? Like what's going on? Like what's up with the word? So I go to research the word, the definitions to the word, and it actually means to move towards something, someone, or someplace. And then another definition of it is to be pulled down by some type of force. And that caught my attention. That was very interesting, almost like getting to a place of humility, getting to a place of being humbled. And it's something that I can't do in my own strength, that there was going to have to be some outside force to get me to that place. So I knew that the word was very challenging going into 2022, because one, my personality is to be in the spotlight. I am a spotlight type of person. I am a look at me type of person. And I need to, it's how I'm created. It's how the Lord created me. But the truth about it is it was unhealthy at one time of my life. It was what I used to make myself feel better, to get my innate needs met apart from God for a very long time. So it was almost like the Lord was showing me like, this is where it's at, like pulled down by a force, but gravitate towards someone, something, or some place. And last year was, I mean, we've been doing Breaking New Ground for 2 years. We'll be celebrating 2 years in January. I mean, here next week, as a matter of fact, on Friday and Saturday, we'll be celebrating 2 years of Breaking New Ground. And so like last year was more about plugging in, was more about getting more connected with the community. I mean, I came out here in June. I came out to Florida in June. And I stayed the entire month of June, which was freaking me out, because I have a business in Georgia. I'm out in Florida. I'm living in Florida for a month. My wife is like coming in 2 weeks. It was one of those things, and I was able to plug into the recovery community, because I didn't know how big the recovery community was in Florida. I live in Georgia. Florida is my home. Like Florida is where my family is where my daughters are at, is where all of my friends are at. Like Port Richey, Florida, that's my heart. Like that's where I grew up at. That's where I ran wild at and all this stuff. So like going back for that month in June and being able to plug into the recovery community and seeing old friends that I used to run with, like Chris Kelly and Roy and all them. Like I used to run with these guys, and to see them part of the recovery community really did something to me. And I started forming these relationships, like getting back plugged in with the community. That's one way that I gravitated towards someone, something, or someplace at my own home, like making myself more available for my family and my wife and my kids. And that's a struggle, being a minister of the gospel, being a recovery minister, traveling back and forth, going from here to Pasco County every single month, and then at least 2 or 3 times. I think I went to Belize 4 times last year. Traveled to Belize to go and minister in a village out there. And so it's just like I went after this word, gravitate, whatever it was. Like I knew that I had to be intentional towards people, towards places, towards my family, towards my business, towards growing things. Like that's where I was at all of 2022, and it was very challenging. I mean, there were so many different seasons that I went through in that year. And one of the things that the Lord has revealed to me about the seasons that we're in is that they're only a season, not a life sentence. They're only a season, and it's for you to get equipped for the next season that's coming right after it, because we're going from season to season. All right. And in that season that we're in, that the Lord is helping us grow, we're accumulating all different types of tools, all different types of weapons, all different types of things that we can carry into the next season. The issue is because we get real comfortable with the season, we try to bring the season with us into the next season too. And we're supposed to leave that thing behind and continue to move forward. All right, Tiff,
Yeah.
how are you?
Your the volume started getting tweaky.
You started talking a little faster, and then it kind of started to muffle a little bit, but then it came back to
Yeah, I'll get going. All right, so real quick, man. So I went through that season, and the gravitating, like that was my word for 2022, which is so cool that at the end of the year, as you're praying for another word, like the Lord starts to reveal to you the word before, and He starts to show me everything that we went through, all of the trials, all of the tribulation, all of the oil that was produced for the lamp, like all of these things. And it's like the Holy Spirit is like, look at this, look at what's going on, look at where you're going. This is where I'm taking you. Having that type of relationship with our Heavenly Father, like, step 11, improving through prayer and meditation, improving our conscious contact with God as we understand and praying only for the knowledge of His will and the power to carry it out. It's like it's relational. And so like, it's so cool that going into this next year, 2023, I'm so happy. Happy New Year's to everybody, huh? Right? I'm so happy we're here. I was sitting here in my office earlier today, and I saw the date 1/1/23 on the corner, the computer, and it's just like sounded so good. Like it was brand new. It was fresh. It was like it started all over again. And it's like, man, here we go again, man, going after this thing. And so towards the end of 2022, the Lord gave me a word, and the word was order. Order. And I know, again, like these are where, like, okay, like I at the beginning I pray and I ask the Lord to share a word with me, and then all of a sudden me hops in the game, and me starts coming up with all of these words, and I'm like, nah, that's not it. Nah, that's not it. And then another word pops up, and it's like, I don't think that's it. And then another word pops up, and you're like, and then I start thinking, like, man, you know what? I'm just going to be quiet, and I'm just going to sit still, and I'm just going to be still, know that He is God, and allow Him to speak. And all of a sudden, out of that very stillness that's there, I hear the word order, and it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense because there's a lot of areas of my life that I need to bring order in. And so my word for 2023 is order, and is bringing order in myself. There's certain things, there's certain areas of my life that I need to adjust in my home, in my family. And when I say my home and my family, it's almost like I live two two different lives, because I have a life in Georgia and then I have a life in Florida. Meaning I have my daughters in Florida and I have my family here, and it's kind of hard, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. When I get those phone calls from my daughters or those text messages from my daughters telling me, hey, look, you left Florida 7 years ago so that you can change your life. Your life has changed. Why aren't you back? That stuff starts to hit. That stuff starts to like, man, really do something to me. And I've done, and again, like, thank you for the program. Thank you for the connection. Thank you for 143 Ministries, Breaking New Ground, 12-Step Recovery, AA, the Word of God, the church. Like, thank you for all of these things that I get to be a part of. It's a privilege to be a part of, because I can sit here and work through these things when I get those text messages. So bringing order in my home, in my family, whatever that looks like, and then in my business can get messy. I know Justin can agree with that. The business can get messy, with the dealing with the employees, dealing with the clients, huh?
And we're in the same business too. He
Yeah.
does exactly the same thing I do.
Drywall,
Drywall.
and it's like, and it can get really messy. It can get really unorganized. You got to meet certain deadlines and you got to meet certain things, and people want their homes back. I'm tired of kidnapping people's homes for longer than what I'm supposed to have them. And so bringing order into that will also be able, and then of course the ministry, Breaking New Ground, getting to a place that I can empower some people out in the community of Pasco County, that they can run this stuff. Like, I've gotten the okay to run a 12-step recovery in Pasco County on a Wednesday or on a Thursday. I got that okay from man, but God has not given me that okay. So man told me, yes, we can do this, but God himself has not released that to me, and I can't go ahead of God. And I'm sitting patiently waiting to see what God does in this next season when it comes to even bringing order, growing relationships, continue to be intentional, being more social, less social media, being more social with people, less social media, all these things, man. And I'm going to be quiet because, again, remember, guys, you guys got to warn me, because I will go for these 6 hours straight. You guys got to keep on, throw a red flag in there or something, man. But, man, I am glad to be here tonight. Happy New Year's to everybody. What is your word? What is the Lord revealing to you about this next season that you're going in? And understand that the season is only a season, not a life sentence. Leave the season behind. What did the Lord equip you with so that you can take into the season that's in front of you? I love y'all. Let me listen to some folks.
Yeah. Thank you, Ito, man. Hey, listen, I hit up Ito last minute too, and Melissa. These people are just all about it. They about it. They suit up, they show up, they say yes. They're yes people. I love yes people. Yes. I try to be that yes person too. It's suit up, show up when I can, anyway, anyhow. And that's what we do, man. And that's the beauty of it. Ito, you were just talking about just being more social, and that's more social media. I get caught up, right? I feel, and even with my people that I know in the fellowship, right? I feel disconnected. I went to a cookout today, man, and these people have been doing these cookouts for a minute, and I'm like, man, and sometimes I feel awkward, bro. I feel awkward around my people. And that's what is wrong? It's probably the same voice that comes out of freaking backfield with the smoking, it's I feel disconnected from people, and it's not good, man, because work and this, that, and the other thing, man, and life and everything gets so wound up that another thing, man, Tiffany, I'm gonna let her talk about this one, but the seriousness of life, and I'm not gonna take anything like that. I'm gonna let her have her shine, but the seriousness of life, man, making, not taking it so you're not gonna get out here alive, you know what I mean? So not being so serious, it's okay to laugh. It's okay. And laugh at yourself too, but anyways, I'm gonna read a couple comments and I'm gonna pass it over to we're gonna let Tiffany, that way we save the bomb for last. Let's see. We got we got Steve. What's up, Steve? Happy New Year to you too, my friend. Here's to new relationships this year. My network is my net worth. Yes. Oh, I like that. My network is my net worth. I like it. I love it, actually. We got Jessica. Thanks for doing this, guys. Y'all truly are such inspirations. I've been clean since 7/19/22. Congratulations to you. Keep going. Y'all have helped me each step of the way. So again, thanks for that. I've been using for over 10 plus years, and this is my longest being sober. And I can't wait and looking forward to hitting 6 months this month. Congratulations. Oh man, that just, that's what we do this for. This is why we show. This is why we have yes people that come on last minute and share this hope, because you know what? I was that guy. I was you in the 6 months, getting up to 6 months, and somebody was that hope for me, and that's how we do things around here. We just pass it, be that light. Let's see. We got Michael Davison's my biggest New Year's resolution is going to be about vigilance. I had such a prosperous year in my personal walk in recovery. I really want to stay vigilant in all I continue and try to do, downloading new information and being vigilant in change. Love it. I got that from Ito, man, the download new information, because it's so freaking true. We got encrypted files that are all freaking hacked and got spywares and all kinds of stuff. And we need to get like all that stuff out.
We downloaded all those viruses, bro, for so many years, bro. We gotta let them things out. It's time to clean out the hard drive, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. I love that analogy. We got Brittany says biggest reason I can't really listen to the music I used to, just because I do the same thing. Exactly. We got Chandra, it says, Amen, Ito. God is so faithful to humble us in an area of our life that needs a touch from him. Let's see. We got Jessica says, it took me moving from my hometown and letting go of all my familiarity with people, not good with big words, sorry, and places and things in order to help people help me find myself through sobriety. And I thank God every day that I was able to do all that. I wouldn't be here today if it not for changing my whole life and all the people, places, things that I was so used to my whole life. I've truly been blessed with a new start and a new beginning, and I couldn't be happier. Congratulations to you. Let's see. We have Brittany says, good to see you again, Ito. All right. Tiffany, new year, new me? No? Donuts? What's your shirt say?
Donut disturb.
She's talking to me.
Hi guys, what's up, Hope Shot family? Ito, Melissa, it's so freaking awesome to see you guys. Happy New Year. I think it's an incredible blessing to get to move into another year, waking up with another chance to keep going, right? And gosh, it really is so cool, right? Because to have Ito and Melissa as our first with us, because man, you guys have made such a big impact on my personal recovery over the last year. And this is just really cool. So I like how Ito went off with, and by the way, you guys are not alone with these weird thoughts, because over the last month, and it really comes down to, like we've all talked about, at the end of the year, you go through the what is that called? Not reminiscing, but anyways, all of what has changed and what hasn't changed over the year, like our mind kind of analyzes and evaluates. And then like it almost goes through like this, well, my mind and mentality goes through this tumultuous, like sadness, but happiness. So like it's all these ball of emotions and stuff, this roller coaster, right? Of the end of the year, things that are closing out, things that are opening up. And I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, I lost it. So I've been having weird thoughts, okay, with things that like my brain will tell me, hey, you're good now. You're good now. And like I'll see this or I'll see that person doing something, and I'm like, maybe and it's like this back voice that's not me. It's not I know I don't I'm not good, and I go to the Father every morning and every night and every day throughout my day because I am not good. Without him, I am not okay. But it's like this weird voice. So I just had to touch on that because I thought that was all of us are going through it, right? Like those thoughts are just waiting for us to be isolated enough because that was another thing that over the last few weeks, Christmas break, kids have been at home. They've had been kids sleepovers and this, that, the other. So I haven't been to, my network home group meeting in goodness, I believe the whole month. And so when we went, I felt very disconnected. And so it's funny that those thoughts seem to happen when I am removing myself away from any and all of my support group, right? It's dangerous. And it happens so simply too, right? Like I didn't plan it to be that way. Just each day as it came, it happened slowly. And then all of a sudden I find myself feeling crappy, feeling low, feeling disconnected. And these thoughts are telling me, you know what? You're good, girl. It'll be just one, right? Just one. No. So last year, our word was focus, right? We really wanted to focus because we had a crazy 2021, really off the wall. And it was so stupid because I said at the beginning of 2021, it was going to be an odd year. I didn't like the odd number. It was an odd year for sure. So then 2022, I was like, this is going to be the year. 2 is my number. It's been like my favorite number or whatever. And so I was like, this is going to be an amazing year. We're going to focus. We're going to focus. And I did the 7 different, categories of goals. Like I made a goal for my spiritual, personal, social, intellectual, financial, and I'm forgetting the other 2 in the moment. But like there's 7 different areas of where it's from Dave Ramsey, where you'd like make goals for these areas in your life, right? And Justin actually brought it up and I looked it over and I really feel like we accomplished focus. Now, in the beginning of the year when we said focus, we were thinking it one way, but looking back over the year, we focused. Oh, we did, but just not in the way that we originally intentionally maybe thought it would look like at the beginning of the year. And it was really cool to get to analyze over that and kind of see how like we focused, but just from a different lens, I guess. Or yeah, I don't know. It was really cool. And so yeah, this year's heavily laid on my heart. I mean, over the last few months, like you said, Ito, sometimes when you pray and you want the Holy Spirit to show you, and boy, does it like to show you for me anyways, over the last few months, from the different mouths, the different signs, the different moments of shows, and it's crazy how the Holy Spirit can show up in your life to answer your prayer. Like, I needed to know, what am I supposed to do from here, right? My whole last year, I am so thankful that I got to rekindle my time with my children and with my husband. And I really feel like, tightening and strengthening that area of my life because it wasn't there for a minute. So moving into this year, I'm like, okay, what do I do with myself now? Right? Like I kind of feel like I have no direction. I have no purpose other than what I chose to focus on was my family, right? But in focusing on my family, like Justin brought up, you see, I'm an addict, right? I need more. And I get a little obsessive. And I got real focused on, and I've kind of always been this way, but just like being a drill sergeant with rules and regulations, and this is how we do things, and don't ask me why. You don't need to know why. It's because we do it, right? I became a drill sergeant, right? And so my word for moving into 2023 is just to let loose and be gentle, right? I'm going to let loose. Yeah, Melissa, right? And so I'm going to let loose all the negatives. I'm going to let loose these ideas and these bad downloaded viruses that need to be let go. I'm going to let loose in this everything has to be so serious and rules and regulation, and like, thank God my children are here to grow into this new phase of, like I was talking to Justin, there's different phases of parenthood, right? And I feel like I'm no longer a teacher. Now, of course, we'll always be a teacher, but I'm saying we are moving from teacher to coach, right? Where it's time to coach them, give them those gentle nudges and gentle reminders, and maybe talk a little bit about technique. But I done taught them right from wrong. I done taught them up from down, and I done taught them, well, sorry. we taught them yes and no, and kind and unkind, and they know those things, right? But now it comes to watching how they choose to experience and behave in the world around them, and them to see the consequences that come from any and all of it, right? And then those gentle reminders from coach where, hey, when you come to coach, what's going on? What can I do? And then right? Like, so anyways, moving into this new era of parenthood, moving into this new era as a person, right? Because after all these things that I've been through, I just turned 30, right? And talk about purpose and meaning, and like, what am I here for, right? Like, I have this beautiful family, I have this incredible support group and network of absolutely phenomenal people. Now what? Am I just gonna sit here and it's so cool. Okay, so in so many different ways, because all the things I learned when I came and sat with you guys for that Friday evening and Saturday. Yes, now what? Yes,
That's a plug.
now
That's a plug.
what? Dude, it's wild. And so I've been praying, like, now what, right? What am I supposed to do? And there's been quite the few opportunities that have opened up. But in order for me to open up to take these opportunities, I have to loosen up, because I still have, like all of us, I have this. When I'm inside my house, I feel very comfortable, right? And I can be myself. But the moment I walk out that door, I feel like I have to not put on a facade, but I do put on like this. We're out in public now. I put my personality away a bit. I put on this mask of like, I don't know how to explain it properly, but just like, I have to loosen up and be okay with being myself anywhere that I'm at, around whoever I'm around, and just being okay in my own skin and not being fearful of other people's opinions, because I do think of things differently. I see things differently, and and I'm like all of us, we're all different, right? And so I need to let loose and be okay with being different than the people that are sitting next to me, and that they're not gonna put me on fire because I don't agree with what they agree with, right? Um, and so let loose and being gentle, right? Just being gentle with like life and with all of it. It's okay to laugh, and it's okay to just take a moment, practice the pause, breathe in and out, walk away. If I don't have a way to speak calmly, like me and Justin, we do, like, if I'm not being understood, and if you're not doing it the way I think it should be being done, I'm quick to like pop on that, right? Drill sergeant voice and all, right? And practice the pause and being gentle, because that's where God has really laid his hand on my heart, where he is so gentle with me and all my mistakes and flaws and sins constantly. Why? And I want to, because he does it for me, I want to practice that outward. So yeah, letting loose in so many different areas and just being gentle for 2023. I'm excited. And I've been praying, because now what? Yes, Melissa, I am sober. So now what do I do?
No, that's perfect. It's like we do have. I'm gonna go back. Downloaded information from our childhood of how we're supposed to parent and how we're supposed to do things. And it's okay to tweak it, but we have all these things that, like, this is how I was raised. This is all I know. But it doesn't work in this day and age. It does not work. We are in a whole different realm of life. They have their hands on so much information. They're like, this is not how it's supposed to be. I'll tell you right now. And they know it. They know it before we know it. And it's messed up, man. But that's what technology is. We have technological kids. And like, I had a damn beeper when I was a kid. I don't want to give my kid a beeper. You know what I mean? That's not happening. So sacrificing what you feel is the best thing, because it's okay to compromise. It's okay. And I do it too, man. Like, nah, ain't happening, but like, we got Jalen a cell phone because we think that she, is responsible enough. But how you gonna learn responsibility if you don't have responsibilities? Like, so it's something we have to play with and give a little. to get a little, you know what I mean? And so like, I love the gentleness. I love all that. I only know one emotion really well. It's anger. And that's what I have to work on this year as well, is not jumping so much to anger because they're not perfect. Because, I excel at perfection, you know what I mean? And that's not the case. I am not perfect, and that's okay too. But Melissa, so now
That's
what?
me.
So now what?
So now what, guys? So I love this. I love everything you guys are talking about. I love how like in sync I am with my Hope Shop family. Like I just dial in and you guys like finishing my sentences in my head, my thoughts every single time. It allows, it makes me know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? When you're in tune with people and it doesn't matter who's on, who's talking, it's always right on time. So I encourage, anybody listening to watch out for that. If you're finding like a niche and you're finding an area where it just syncs up and you can finish the sentence or they get you, those are your people. That's the unity I'm always talking about. And Ito, I wanted to say, I don't share this with a lot of people. I started writing about it. I'm kind of all over the place with my writing right now because I got sidetracked with the relaunch of my book, but I didn't want to stop writing because although it's for all of you guys, it's also very cathartic for me. And so when things come to me, I start writing. And I did start talking about how I recognize the Holy Spirit because me and God, when I first got started, we were dating. You know what I mean? I was trying to figure it out. It was awkward. He would, I was trying to figure out what was my relationship with God. Once I accepted that I was worthy enough to have a relationship with him, what does it look like? And then I'd overthink things and I just kind of fumbled through stuff and I'm starting to get comfortable. And the coolest thing about being comfortable in communicating with him through prayer, meditation, and service work. Believe it or not, I feel the most connected to God through service. Is that I hear words, or I, maybe have a dream that's vivid enough for me to understand that it's supernatural. It's not just my collective thoughts all jumbling together because I drank too much Coke Zero the night before. So, one of the things before, let me backtrack for a second. Tiffany, I freaked out because while you were talking, I heard the word gentle so clear. I almost unmuted and said, be gentle. But you said, I was literally about to do it. And you said that was your word. So, I think that that's right on time. We do have to be gentle with ourselves and with others, especially our children, the thing about trying to find our voice in recovery. So we went, most of us have gone so long with no connection to ourselves or to others. And so then we start to get connected with others and we start building a connection with ourselves. And then we start setting boundaries or feeling comfortable enough to, or maybe uncomfortable to do it, but we know we have to in order to grow more. And so we're looking for our voice. And so we're addicts. So we go all in, if something feels right and we hone in on it and that's it. And then we become drill sergeant. Or, you could apply that to several areas in life, or it's not just like with parenting or whatever. And I have to tell myself that all the time. I have to give myself grace, the same grace that I believe that my loving Father gives me. And I have to be full of grace with others, even when I don't want to be. And there's a lot of times that I don't want to be. You know what I mean? I'm not always in agreement with people around me, but it's part of that exercise that I always talk about. We have physical exercise, we have spiritual exercise, emotional exercises, and walking with grace and walking with gratitude go hand in hand. And your delivery to other people with whatever you're saying, doing, the way you carry yourself, just becomes more gentle. And then your responses from people become more gentle too. It's a wild thing to watch unfold. and you get off track, just like we do with everything else. You know, we get that voice. You guys keep saying that y'all have a voice in your back of the head. I wrote about that in my book, about like you see the cartoon characters with the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder. Man, I call that the accuser. That using, I hear y'all say that, and I'm like, that's the devil. Remember 2 weeks ago when I was trying to jump on and get my message out there, and I knew somebody needed to hear it? Well, she did. She messaged me, but I was on fire, and it was, the devil stops you. He doesn't want what it is that we're doing. What we've got going on right here, and all of those people out there that are listening or watching this, I can't see you. I say this all the time. We're together. Pretend like we're in a room together, in a circle together right now. The unity is killing him. He can't stand it. So for me, for my new year, or I guess I'll, touch on the last year. We don't have much time. And that's okay. I don't like to talk long anyway. Last year was huge for me. Huge year of growth. I came out of my shell. I still look back and I'm like, what? I can't even believe that happened. You know what I mean? Like, why am I standing in front of groups of people, in some cases hundreds, and sharing my recovery story? Like I'm recovering out loud, and that just started. You know what I mean? I launched the book, and it took off. I followed God's direction and His will, and I didn't want to, but I did it because He actually just wouldn't let me avoid it. I tried, and I tried to avoid it. It kept falling in my lap, like, fine, like, a disobedient little kid. Fine, I'll do it. But last year I had hoped what I would do is launch the book and then go back to my normal life, sit in my little office at church, work my part-time job, be a present mom for the few last years that I have the kids at home, be more active in my older children's lives, start, focusing on me and my husband. It's going to be me and him and the dogs in a few years. Like, we need to know who each other are. You know what I mean? It's not going to be about raising kids anymore. It's going to be back to, it's going to be a different phase. So I had all these ideas in my head about how last year was supposed to go. And, it didn't end up anything like I thought, like at all, on any level. Like I could go on and on. Go look at my Facebook page, on my personal page. You'll see everything that I got to do some cool stuff, and I went through some really hard stuff, and I grew through it. That sounds so cheesy to say, grow through it. Somebody called me a Karen on Instagram the other day. Like, Instagram is not as nice to me as my Facebook community. They're tough. They're like hardcore. But somebody was like, okay, Karen, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess I kind of do come off like a Karen sometimes, but I don't know. Like, I just know that the way that I was going into last year and how it ended up being is just completely bipolar opposite. And the more I would try and wedge my ideas and my will and my way into it, the more I would either fail or come to a halt, screeching halt, or a really bad, bad choices lead to bad situations, and I would have to dig myself out of some stuff. So going into this year, Ito, I do the same thing as you. A couple of months ahead, I start praying. I'm writing about this. This is how I started off the conversation. I'm circling back around. I didn't forget it. Okay, so I start asking God, what do you want from me? I ask it all the time. Tonight before I got on, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm terrified to speak in front of people. It's not my thing. I mean, it's my thing, but it's hard for me. It's become my thing, and it's hard. But I ask God, what do you want from me? What can I do to for the greater glory, for the greater good? Reveal it to me. And if I'm scared, help me through it. And I had a dream last night, and it was so big. I'm like, I hadn't really heard anything. Like, what am I supposed? I'll just guess I'll go into the new year like all willy-nilly. I had a dream. I heard it. I saw it very vividly, and it's better together and unity. And I've been talking about unity strongly for the last couple of months. I feel it in every fiber of my being. I know that being connected and building my community, and reaching out through my Sober Now network is going to be a great success this year. I'm not setting any expectations on it. I'm definitely going to go in one day at a time. with God's will and trying to do the best I can as a human being to follow that. And I'm just so grateful to be here. I love you guys. I love all the support and encouragement I get from everybody. And I can't wait to share more with y'all. I'm really excited about what's going to happen in the coming months.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great year. You know, anytime you come on, dude, I just like it's just like a different vibe, you know. And it's like you're just such a bright light. I just tell you, you're
Aww,
such a bright light. You really do make our lives better. Like
like this
you really
light,
do.
like that bright light.
Yeah, like
Bright
even better. That's pretty good though.
light.
You know, you and Ito, man, you guys are just positive forces to be reckoned with. You know what I mean? And we're just grateful to be a part of your journey as well. Like you say, you're a part of the Hope Shot, like but us a part of you. It's like, man, it's like the connection is awesome. It's just real. Like we show up, we show out, and I love it. I just love it. I love all of it. I love meeting people too. Like we
Yeah.
all met because of all this. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's definitely something supernatural happening.
Yeah.
There's a plug too there, Ito, supernatural.
Bro, that's so funny, man. That's how the whole business name, that's where it came from, bro. And so when I first got here to Georgia, like everything was supernatural to me. Like it was like weird. The stuff that was happening was weird. I was like, man, this is supernatural. Or I would tell my wife, like, that's supernatural. And like, man, did you see that? Like, that's supernatural. And it started off like that. I actually saw a memory popped up, and it was like 6.5, 7 years ago, and it was like supernatural was hashtagged on it. And I was just thinking, like, the day that I went to go get the business, it's like, what do you want to name it? And I was like, Supernatural Drywall. And so that's how that started, by the
Hell
way.
yeah. Dude, it's great. I love it. I love it. I love the name.
But I want to share, Melissa, man, you just have a beautiful, genuine spirit. It's what it is, man. It's just so real, so honest, so humble. And like the anointing on it, man, when you open your mouth, whether the nervousness and all the crazy that you feel before you do something. Because I was thinking the same thing. Justin called and was like, "Hey, you want to get on tonight?" And I was like,
Okay,
"Sure, why
okay.
not? Let's just get it." I'm sitting there on the bed, and I look at my wife. And I'm like, "I'm going on a Hope Shot. I don't know what we're doing though. Ain't got no idea what we got going on, what's happening. We're just gonna be obedient. And it has been a powerful night.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think I really, really, really needed this moment right here. And so I just wanted to share that with you, Melissa, man. It's like,
Thank
man,
you,
the
Eva.
minute you open your mouth, man, the oil goes forward, the yoke begins to break. Bondage, slavery, things that people are struggling with, the fear that people are struggling with, all of that stuff will break, and they will get to walk in the newness just because of something that you spoke into existence as they were just listening. So I wanted to share that with you while you're
I
still.
receive it. Thank you. I'll absorb it later. It's hard for me to hear those kind of things, but I'll receive it. I love to know that you believe in me that way. I want to keep going, It's hard. It's hard what we do. It's hard work,
Yes,
but I love it. That's
I
my
know
life.
it.
That's my life.
So good.
You know, I also want to say, like, the one thing I love about not having a plan is it works out much better. You know, I never have I try not to overthink because I'm really good. I'm A1. Like I have all the certifications for overthinking. Like
Yeah.
I've taken classes on it.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it, you know?
And
Um,
forgive me real quick,
yeah.
Tiffany, thank you for sharing that drill sergeant word too, because that really made me look at myself because I can become that drill sergeant. And I think that being like part of my word about order is to, put things in order, get things in order. But I think a lot of the order is going to come from my end of not being that drill sergeant, not like this is how it should be. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. I don't want to be that. So thank you for sharing that too on that drill sergeant, because I can become that drill sergeant as well.
Especially in work, being a boss.
It's crazy.
Yep. I'm with you there, my friend. I try to be more gentle. So maybe we could take a little bit of everybody's word, and run with it. You know what I mean? We all need a little bit of gentle order in our life. We all need a little bit of you know, all these things that we keep talking about here.
Togetherness and unity. He
Togetherness
forgot my
and unity.
words.
I forgot it. Yeah,
Stronger together in unity.
that's it. You know, and it's something, you know, we can all use a little bit of it. There it is. All right, let me read a couple of these comments, man. We're gonna break out of here. So we got let's see. We got Helen says, my first sponsor taught me pause, then say what you mean what you say, and don't say it mean.
That's
Ooh,
right. Spitting bars.
Yeah. Debbie. Oh, Debbie, good to see you here. Happy New Year to you. Debbie wants to know, where is your book available?
Okay, let me just jump in real quick. It is not available right now. We pulled it from the publisher. We talked about it at the beginning of this live. So it is about to relaunch, and I'm going to, Justin, the Hope Shot's going to have me on the day that it goes live, and it will be back available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Aid Books, all of the outlets you can think of. It'll be live and ready to go this January. I don't have a date. We're getting close, so I need prayers. But if you need a book in the meantime and you cannot wait for the launch, get in touch with Justin or message me at Sober-Now. I will send you a publisher copy. I'll just rip his page out and you can have the rest of the book.
Hey, whatever works. You know, it's cool. It's like Melissa, we met the first time when her book launched. And what was it, June?
May. Yeah, the end of May.
Was it the end of May? End of May. Yeah. It was the same exact time she came on to tell her story. The book was launching.
That day.
Day. And it was
I
cool.
launched it with the Hope Shot.
Yeah, so we need to redo that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do it right. Yeah.
That's right. Debbie says, hey, Justin, Tiffany, blessed New Year to everyone. Blessed New Year to you, too. Let's see. We got Brittany says, yes, she does, Ito. For the you know, Sandra, Miss Melissa, I am so encouraged by your honesty regarding your relationship with the Lord.
Come on.
Jessica says, I really needed this too. Thank you all so much for doing this. Y'all give me such hope and let me know that I'm not alone.
No, you're
never
not.
Alone.
Never alone.
And we're never alone either. So thank you all for being here and listening to us. Happy New Year. You know, guys, let's do this right. You know, let's get those goals. Let's do the things that we're fearful about. Let's get into this year and get it done. Like, don't let fear cripple you. Let's get it. Let's get at it. And I love y'all, man. Thank y'all. Thank you both for coming on tonight at last minute.
Stay in the moment.
Yes. Hey, wait, Ito, real quick.
Huh.
When you coming down for Breaking New Ground?
January 13th, January 14th is next week, Friday and Saturday. I believe it's not this week coming up, the next one. Next Friday, next Saturday. We're in for 2 days, and it's when we will be also celebrating 2 years of Breaking New Ground. I do have a word that the Lord has been stirring up in me, and it's about being. Your doing comes from your being with the Father. And as you do step work, like it's got the step work, all of it in it. And it's like, man, we often like to do step 12. We miss out on the 10 and 11, which is the maintenance and the connection with the Father, so that you can get to know him in his will. And so anyways, next in 2 weeks, the 13th and the 14th, man, come here. All about it. 6345 Grand Boulevard, Newport Richey, Florida, right by Sims Park.
Yeah, and you're gonna live stream that probably too, right? For people that are not around.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get all that info and we'll share it on our page as well. So hey, have a great week, everybody. Love y'all.
Yeah, definitely. Peace out.
Yeah.